What's up, guys? Today I'm going to do something a little bit different. I'm going to do like a commentary slash explaining, my movements, decision making, and stuff like that. This is just kind of, you know, explain various things, reasons why I do stuff, and I'm doing this because, like, while playing, there are a lot of decisions that go on, but as you kind of play, you kind of don't really think about it too much, and it just kind of becomes second nature. Um, but this kind of like helps you get used to it, get you in the mindset of what you should be looking for, what you should be doing, stuff like that. That way, over time, it'll eventually become second nature to you, and it'll be a breeze. Okay, so I don't see anyone C here, so I know they're gonna be mid, and right here is the first guy, and I hear someone coming up, so I try to force myself in this position right here, and I go there because I can either catch him going up the stairs, or I can force him in a position where I have cover from the doorway if he goes around. Now I spawn on C. I see that we're capping B, which means they're probably still in mid since it's still early in the game. And there's one, but now that we're capping B, I'm going to still head through mid. And you can see there's actually a flare that is there, so I know where pretty much everyone is. And so I can kill this guy right here, freely push him, and I see that we have plenty of teammates pushing those two guys in the center, so I'm going to go back and chase this guy, and he's inside the stairs, so I know that I can either watch him get out or I can keep him there. And here's an important decision where I decide not to go up the stairs because it's a very risky move when you do that. You can't really peek him, you can't escape whenever that happens, so I decided to do that instead. And here I don't end up pushing through because he puts the trip mine down, and I decided that since it was an incendiary, I can't really push anyway. And I noticed that my teammate Alex actually killed the scout there, so I could freely push it. Now that they have B and we have C and A, I know they're probably going to be mid or pushing up to C. So I go ahead and check mid. I see my teammates there, and I hear someone over here as they're firing. So I go ahead and check back, kill him, and decided that it's better to push and try to pinch on B. And a lot of this, my awareness comes from just hearing people. And so now that we're capping B, I know that they want to spawn either ruins or the back of B, which this guy unfortunately spawns alone. So he was a very easy cleanup. And now I know that they may have gotten, since they're not capping C, they may have gotten actually a back A spawn. And as you can see, it appears that they did. It could have been also the case that they were just getting held up on C. But sometimes, very rarely, do they get a back A spawn, but that was one case that they do. Now here is a important little movement thing, is that I don't ever really put myself in a position where I can be easily shot from ruins, and that's because it's common that they spawn there and it's very dangerous. Now that they have A, I'm going to start. I know that they're probably going to push either mid or straight towards C, and as you can see, I picked up that guy and pick up his weapon because I was running low. Now that we're capping A and there's no one on site, you can assume that they're probably in mid or respawning, and sometimes they get this back A spawn, which this guy actually did. And since I have teammates already capping A, I decided that I was going to push and make sure that that spot is clear. Now that they're capping B, you have to be aware that there's probably at least one or two people heading towards C, which you can actually see that someone is capping C right now. So I push him, and generally they like to hide in these little corner right here. And what do you know, there is one. So I made sure that that's clear. They're still probably going to be spawning in ruins, so you want to make sure that you kind of look over there, make sure it's clear. Since it's pretty slow, it seems like the teammates are keeping B busy. It just kind of signifies that they're not really on B too much. So they're probably in mid, maybe heading towards C even. That's where you can expect the next cap to be from. You can see it right there starts. And so you see I'm constantly checking that the ruins, making sure that the initial push is clear. And now that they have C, and it seems like they're all going either in mid or towards A, and you can see that it's actually getting capped right now. So they had someone already pretty much in position to cap it. Now since we're starting to cap C, since we already have 3 people, I just decided to push through mid, and I wanted to go through mid, or like the mid lane, but I heard people, so I decided to clear them out first. Here I try to get kind of back towards mid, but I get caught off from a nice shot. Luckily I get revived. And here I really should have started pushing towards C, but I wanted a different weapon, which unfortunately was an automatic. But you can see that they're capping C, and I know these guys are here on the stairs, but I can't really do too much, because I want to stop them from getting C. But unfortunately, if some potato aim happens, I really couldn't hit him. And here comes a really fortunate spot where this guy tried to bayonet, and then the scout wasn't paying attention at all. Now I can hear them inside this room right here, so I knew he was there. And now we have A controlled, so the only thing left is C. And what's going to happen is they're probably going to be spawning in church, or yeah, the church ruins. So they're probably going to start heading towards B, really forcing B. Here I thought he actually saw me, so I throw it, but he was not there. And so I get a pretty easy double here. So as you can see, they started to take B now, but we should have enough to take C, as it should be completely clear. Because most people, once they cap the objective, will need to start heading out towards the other various objectives. And so I chase him down and get that other cleanup kill. And since I have the shotty, I decided to really push as fast as I can to cut off the distances. Now, as you can see, I clean up about 3 people here, which means that there's still probably people in mid, and hopefully the teammates can clean those guys up. And actually, I think that they end up clearing them out, or at least keeping them still. And notice here that, once again, I try to get this guy as fast as I can, and then I push on the outside, or the street side, because I do not like this church spawn. As you can see, it allows me to force very good flanks. You can see they could have been the case that they got the back B spawn, but it seems like there was only one guy there, and the others got into C from mid. And now I know this guy was a medic, and I could push him. And I decided that it would be better to push the lone medic than get caught out from church and C if I don't immediately push. And that's why I pushed him. Now here I heard this guy and decided that he was the top priority. And see, once again, I take the street side. Now that I've cleared that out, I can kind of check if Ruins has anyone there. And I try to chase this guy down, but he turns around, and then these 2 people, luckily, they were already pre-engaged with my teammates. And so I try to chase this guy down. I don't get to actually kill him, but it kind of looked like he was reloading from my perspective. But that's okay. And so now that we kind of have B, we have it caught up. I'm going to still help clear it out, but we lost C in the process. Here I also switch over to a new recording, and unfortunately for the new recording, it starts to stutter, which isn't too bad, but kind of annoying. But I make a very bad decision, and I probably shouldn't have pushed out. I should have sat on next to that little windowsill, and then cleared the angles, make sure that it's clear. But I kind of lost focus. That's okay. Here I don't see anyone on C, and unfortunately there's actually a couple, so I got caught out. I tried to throw dynamite, but the kit that I picked up had only mines on 3, so that kind of sucked. Not sure who's using mines in domination, but that's beside the point. I spawn here and decide to kind of make sure that mid presence is clear. I hear someone on my left, so I need to start shooting him. And as you can see, they're starting to take B. So I'm going to try to clear this guy off as fast as I can. And since they already have B like completely capped, I decided that in a second, it's better to just block the angle off with an incendiary, and then push on the outside. Now, as you can see, I hear this guy here. I try to pre-fire. It was a little bit early, but he still goes down anyway. But since we have plenty of teammates watching the tunnel, I decided to push myself on the outside. Pick up 2, and it's already 199, so the game's over. And that's basically it. But there are a couple things that I would like to talk about, which unfortunately didn't happen in this gameplay. One of them being, both of them are basically the same. It's knowing timings on movement and stuff like that. So if you have, like, for the first instance is more of knowing how long it takes for people to get on certain objectives, and how long it takes for, you know, just in general movement, like how long it takes to sprint somewhere. So let's say on Amiens, they own B and A, and you only have C. Now you're in the middle between B and C, so you're in that little street there that I was talking about earlier, where I don't like to peek out and show myself from ruins. And there's an enemy closer towards C, so your back is turned toward at B, and they just capped B. So now they're heading to the only objective left, which is C. So what you need to know is how long you can fight that guy on C before you'll start getting overrun, and before they'll get an angle on you. So you kind of just have to have like this mental timer that kind of keeps track of everyone. This is something that, you know, it just comes with playing, and you just kind of have to think about it. Maybe at first you think about it a little bit more than you do later, but just kind of like, once you start playing, you kind of keep track of things like that. And the second one is kind of the same concept, but instead of, you know, it being about them on flags and stuff like that, it's, let's say that there's 2 enemies. The first one you shoot at, but then, and he's a farther away opponent, but then the second opponent is closer, so you decide that that guy's more threatening. So the first guy gets hit for, you know, 40 damage or something like that, and you focus on the second guy and you kill him. Now, the first guy, at that point, by the time you kill the second guy, should have probably turned around and is kind of like, you know, aware of where you are. So what you need to do is either A, completely fight him, or B, try to get in a better position. But if you kill the second guy, and there's another guy coming around the corner, for instance, so now you can't fight the first guy again. So what you have to do immediately is force an angle to protect yourself. You want to get away from a double crossfire situation. You never want to have 2 people shooting at you. And once you get in that position where you can minimize the crossfire, you know that the first guy is going to probably start pushing you, So you know how, depending on the distance, you'll know how long it takes for that guy to get an angle on you. So you know how much you can dilly-dally. So, I mean, there's a lot of cases where the third guy will be a medic, and he can just sustain like crazy. So sometimes it might not be a straightforward fight. You have to dilly-dally for 10 seconds or something. And depending on the situation, it could be a much better strategy to just go for the first guy. Not even worry about the third guy. And so I hope that kind of helped a little bit. Let me know what you all thought about it. And thank you.